So I'm excited about this next panel because this is really how Kids at Play got started, by products that push the envelope and provide access to emerging technology through play. And we have Dean Takahashi, the lead writer of GamesBeat and VentureBeat. And I think, actually, Dean, I've known you longer than I've known anybody in this room. Because I started out in video games with you a long time ago. So it's fun to have Dean here at the stage. And Dean, I'm going to hand it over to you to introduce the panel.
Okay. Yeah, I've been covering games for more than 2 decades and technology for about 3 decades. And I love it when you combine the two and get good stuff out of it. And this panel is going to illustrate some of that for us. I also run the GamesBeat Summit conference, and that's taking place April 28th and 29th in Los Angeles this year. And I'm going to have my panelists get started on introducing themselves and their projects here. So we'll start with Jerome.
Yeah. So hi everyone, my name is Jerome. I'm the Innovation Project Manager here at BANDAI NAMCO Entertainment. Let's say here, not because it's Europe. We are creating new ways to play and repurpose the goal of entertainment. So really the idea is to say with Tori, we created a playful learning platform where we use the power of play to serve, a very beneficial role, whether that's developing soft skills or over learning. We also have worked on Pac-Man stories on Alexa, where really here we are providing beneficial, I would say, learnings, whether that's about littering or eating healthy for kids. So in an intuitive way and a fun way. Everything is game-based experiences.
I got to play with this a little bit earlier, and I like how you combine the sort of the physical and digital here with this little catapult that you actually physically shoot, and that you can see it go into the
definitely. We're creating a mirror effect between physical play and digital play. So every single movement that you're going to do physically will be mirrored into the game, and thanks to that, we can really enhance the experience and give it magic and extend the product life cycle of a, I would say, classic toy, and have something magical for learning purposes.
Okay. Like, if there's a category that you'd describe too, like what category would you say this fits into? I mean, is this mixed reality essentially, or?
I would say that that's a great question actually, because we've got to regroup together and find this category of connected play, because when we are at retail and say, okay, we are buying physical toys with video games, where are you going to be at? Are you going to be at the video game shelf or on the toy shelf? And actually, we've got to find this new shelf, which is connected play.
Okay. And Vivek.
Hi, so I'm Vivek. I'm the co-founder of PlayShifu. We are a 2.5-year-old startup, and we are based out of India and Bay Area. We create augmented reality-based early learning experiences for kids in the age group of 4 to 10. Orboot was our first product that we launched via Kickstarter 2.5 years ago. Phenomenal success across 17 countries. And Plugo is our second product that we launched last year. What we really do is leverage the power of technology that kids already have, the iPads and the iPhones and the devices that they have, and use that for the purpose of early learning. So with Orboot, what you can do is scan any part of the globe that kids are interested in, and you start seeing stuff from that region laid out on top of the globe, all in 3D animated format. And imagine the tool like this to explore the world. Plugo is actually an augmented reality gaming system where we have more than 6 experiences launched. All of them are tactile play, where kids don't touch their screen. They're playing with their hands with the toys, which is very important early on, especially 4 to 7, 4 to 8 age group. And they're solving problems and challenges that are being thrown by the app. So it merges the best of the both worlds. Kids are attracted to the digital richness of the medium of the iPads, and they still own the physical toy. So we marry both of them and create the best of the both. So that's what we do.
And you're using both of these with iPads, I guess?
Yeah, so we work with iPads, iPhones, all the Android devices that were launched post 2013. So the stack that we have built, we're really proud of, because it works with phones as old as 2012. with the resources that we know over the years that have grown phenomenally, but we've worked with old generation phones also.
Okay. And essentially you're pointing the iPad at the globe and you're picking a spot and it'll animate what's going on.
So that was how AR was defined 2 years ago. So we used that to bring globe from the 19th century to the 21st century. But then we reimagined AR itself. You really don't need to always have the camera on and point at something to have the AR experience. And that's where Plugo comes into the picture, where the camera is in the backdrop. It's not open and it's not in front of you. And it's doing things that reads the movement of the kids' hands. And as Jerome was hinting to, we lie in a category where we are a toy, we are a game, so we're really defining a space for ourselves, which beats the experiences of both individual worlds individually. So we create the magic of both the worlds.
Okay. And Jianbo, do you want to answer the same?
Yeah, hi, I'm Jianbo Yang from China, and we are a robotics startup from Beijing. And this is our product called ClickBot. And ClickBot is a modular robot system. That means each individual module is independent and it can be taken apart and to make another setups. This character, we call it Bark. And it has some emotions here. And it's very smart and has some artificial intelligence interaction with children. Like you can scratch his face and it will react to you when you scratch it, and he seems, enjoying it. It seems very exciting, and you can block from seeing your guys. And this is a modular robot, and it can all be taken apart to individual modules. And because it's smart, and so it can be nearly 1,000 of different robots in one, because it can. Sorry, he's angry. He's angry when I take his hands off. These are smart and very smart boys. The powerful smart modules. Children can use this to build hundreds of robots. Like the robots can climb up the wall. Like the robots can, like the robot arm can pick up things, or even some robots video shooting can take time-lapse photography, or many use cases.
So now I'm going to open it up a bit. I guess we saw with Skylanders that toys to life could become extremely popular and turn into $1 billion business within a year, 2, 3 years, and then just sort of vaporize, right, and disappear. And sort of go through a hype cycle as if it were kind of a fad. And so I wonder if you could say, talk about that some as sort of the context for what you're doing. You're sort of living in this post-Skylanders world here, right?
Well, what we're doing, we tend to think is quite different, because we are taking the physical toy, whether that's the spacecraft that actually you can build, because for instance, what you can see on the pack is a cardboard spacecraft that should come from a flat cardboard that you can customize, fold, and play with. The tracking that we're having is through a patented technology, so this is something that is quite unique, and thanks to that, we're able to actually put this toy into a magical experience, digital experience, but also finding physical play meet digital play. And thanks to that, we are really, I believe, different in this regard, because we can bring the toy with its own behavior. It's super intuitive. We do not need to explain to kids how, let's say, a controller works with the sticks. We provide the catapult, we provide the actual spacecraft, and yet you play as you would play in reality. It's a bit shaky now, right?
Vivek as well?
So what we believe is, merging the learning angle, specifically for the kids between age group of 4 to 10, brings the real factor in what we are trying to create. For example, if you look at Plugo Letters, it's a gameplay around a lot of beautiful stories that kids can go through, and they have to use these alphabet chips to spell out words to make the story progress. Now the challenges are being thrown at kids to form nouns, pronoun, verb, fill in the blanks, and they're using these tactile chips to can actually answer rather than just tapping on the screen. Now we are using AR, yes, it's subtle, but it will never be fad because our current generation and the next generation will always be learning about languages, and this is the power that we are speaking right now in what they understand the best. Right now, kids understand the iPads and technology the best, and we're just merging that with the real tactile play that they should be doing.
General, do you also have a comment about that?
Oh, yeah. And I talk about the robotics and robots or any other technologies here is the ClickBot is kind of, it has some aspect of social robot, like the product before, like Jianbo or Cosmo or something, robot toy like this one. Okay. Yeah.
We want to see it.
Okay. And I suppose Skylanders, Vivek, was also geared at much older kids, too, who were sort of already getting hooked on video games, and they had a lot of competition on that front, too, right? I guess in the younger age group, it's a little less, or it's a little more receptive to these brand new inventions that you're coming up with, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And how the early age differs with the more of a teenage group is the kids in the early age group are fascinated by toys and fascinated by things that they can hold in hand and call their own, versus kids beyond 10 and 12 who are absolutely immersed in more of a video game world, and they're not kind of longing for the tactile ownership of stuff. So that also creates a more of a merged experience as far as AR is concerned.
If you guys want to put anything up here for a close-up, feel free.
Yeah, let's do that. Something I would like to add on top is really, for instance, with Tori, what really differentiates ourselves from the standard Toys to Life thing is, as Vivek is saying, that we are providing learning through gaming, and we are bringing this, I would say, beneficial experiences where, for instance, through the spacecraft experience, then you would focus on dexterity, motor coordination, reaction time, while the catapult game is really about critical thinking. So here, all the experiences that we've created are game-based learning experiences, whether that's for the moment soft skills or in the future knowledge. So we've worked with experts in child development, and with those experts, we've worked on how we can solicit those soft skills through gameplay mechanics. And we've drawn and designed the games thanks to those gameplay mechanics. So this is something that is really, really important because it differentiates ourselves so much on top of the new way of playing, physical and digital, and use this power of play for learning experiences.
So we did a fun kind of exercise to understand from parents, those who experience phygital for the first time. And phygital is relatively a new word, and so we had to explain. And the users, those who experienced Orbun and Plugo, we try to understand a typical toy that they buy for a kid between 4 to 10. Used to last 6 to 7 days. That's the retention that a typical toy has. Kids don't play with that. They might find it in the cupboard like 2 months later and play it for one more day, but that's not what you call, a user who is retained. For games, digital games, it's 2 to 3 days. They get over with a game that they downloaded, they delete it. You'll see kids' iPad filled with hundreds of games, and they just keep on kind of changing it regularly. What we figured out was, because of the phygital play, they saw the toy, they saw the app that was there. We have a retention rate of right now 55% over 6 months. That is why parents felt that this is a category that has completely changed how kids behave and kind of interact with toys.
So you are taking some risk on the sort of the physical side, inventory and building up supplies and all that. I think Disney Infinity figured out that problem a little late, but that was sort of the side of things that did them in. So you take some risk there, but then your reward is paid off in this engagement, I guess. Right?
True, and so we so if you compare us or any of us with a pure digital company, we would rather say ourselves we are more a consumer product company, that we are making stuff, we're shipping stuff, because that's where the USP lies, and that's why we are redefining the space, because we have a physical component that interacts with the digital component. So that's true.
Yeah, I would say that we're taking the opportunity to do something different, and that's really the main thing to us that matters. Trying and succeeding is thrilling, and that's really what drives us in our, I would say, daily job. And when we are putting things together, whether that's on the physical parts, how can we improve, and how can we leverage historical interaction with a catapult, for instance, or I don't know, any kind of toy, and how can we emphasize such experience in an active way, so kids, they are active in their learning experience and they are enjoying what they are doing. This is what really ignites our passion when creating the stuff that we're doing on Tori, actually.
I guess, Jianbo, too, it looks like on your side, I guess the play is a lot more open-ended, right? You're sort of leaving a lot up to the kids, I guess. And
Yeah. And
it's less scripted out, I guess, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and our product is a perfect toy for the kids because it can realize all the dreams that children have about robotics. And every robot that you can imagine, maybe it can be use that kickbot to realize that dream. And also we want to make creativity easy, because some entertainment that children have or their user experiences that when children can have really create something, or they can make something, or program a cool robot that can move, that will really get them exciting about it. And this is a procedure that the children can use our clickbot to program with the drag and drop graphic programming platform to make very cool robot move, and to get the children exciting about making some really cool stuff is what our product, the feature of our product. And also to put some personalities to the product, like it's not only a robot, but a robot a little bit more human, that have some feelings, have some emotions, to make it touch, have some the touch from the children and the robot to
So I guess the two of you others also feel like you have to sort of combine this sort of scripted gameplay or scripted play with the open-ended gameplay.
Yeah. Let's say on our side, what we want to do is, first we've got an object. We want the platform to be open, so if people want to add more content, that they're able to develop. And so if you've got some ideas, let's say let's reach out and discuss. Really the idea is to provide an open platform so people can create those amazing interactions and amazing play patterns, so kids feel engaged in what they are doing. That's really our main focus. We are not here to push a tech. We are here to enhance the playtime and give it meaningful when they are doing so.
So the interactions that we are creating, like with every kit that we release, the letters or the numbers, is new. So there is a learning curve with every kit, and we try to minimize as much as possible. What we really don't want is the kids actually to have that learning curve and then actually also try to create something immediately. So what we do is we have multiple games inside each kit that kids can explore and choose based on the theme. Like for example, some of the kids are really into dinosaurs, so we make sure that there's a dinosaur experience with letters, or there's a dinosaur experience with numbers. Some of them are really into space, so we have Mars explorations, space explorations, solar system. So it's really making sure that the theme of the games that you associate with a digital side of physical play appeals to the kids, and different things appeals to the kid. So the more variety of play that you can create, the better. So as Jerome was hinting to, if we get a great idea, we go ahead and do create a small experience on any of the kids that fits it.
So I guess with, I mean, you guys have made some choices here. You did not choose to make a mobile app or game. You didn't do pure virtual reality, I guess. And these things have been really criticized for screen isolation. And that's a very serious topic for parents, I guess, right, and kids. And so I guess how do you sort of figure out how to make mixed reality more social or less isolating, I guess?
So our product, let's say, we've added a layer of creativity, as we believe no one has done before, meaning that from a simple cardboard sheet that you can customize, you take on top of the form factor of the spacecraft, you take this design that is your own, your very own. And this, you can create that with your parents, we can create that with your brothers and sisters, and we are creating a meaningful off-screen time before jumping on the screen and having this kind of mixed reality experiences. And this is the same for the other experience that we've done within BANDAI NAMCO, which is the Pac-Man story. I remember when I was discussing with parents, they were saying, okay, after school, we would just explore into the world of Pac-Man and dive into this world, and together and with their friends, also kids with their friends would explore such adventures. So having some kind of common and shared experience is really key to us. And the content that we've created right now for Tori is really leveraging this creativity as a binder, because it can be from a very childish style up to a very artistic style. And in terms of demographics, we're talking about STEM and STEAM. Creativity is really another entry point on top of just the STEM entry point, which enables us to find new ways of thinking, tackling problems, and that's really what we want to push forward.
Yep. A great example of what we created was an Orboot parent app. So we have around 200,000 kids kind of exploring on Orboot every month. And what we did was take insights from that and created a parent app that parents can download on their phone and just see what kids are doing on Orboot, which region of the world they're exploring, what categories, whether they're exploring animals, culture, food, and whether they're spending a lot of time in a particular area. For example, let's say Asia or Australia, they're spending a lot of time there, and they get that insight. And then what we do is a great thing that we create through AI. We create 5 or 6 conversational topics and tell them that go ahead and ask this thing to a kid. Because we know the kid has already explored animals in, let's say, China, we tell them to go ahead and ask the national animal of China. And since kid already knew it because they've explored it, they start telling about it. And that's a great way for parent and kid to bond. And that's one thing that we have learned from parents, that they find it very hard these days to talk to kids because they don't tell them about what they've explored and what they've done. And this gives them talking points and start talking to kids about what they're learning in their playtime.
Yeah, and because it's modular robot and traditional like building blocks, like maybe Lego building blocks, it takes about few hours for children to set up one setups. So it's and after they set up all the blocks and they just put it on the shelf and never take it apart again. So our product is want to solve this problem. Or this is not problem. It's also interesting for building the blocks, but we want to make it much more easier for them to create create a new thing. That we want the children to make it maybe 1 minute to set up a whole robot, and after that they can program the robot maybe 3 or 5 minutes. So if they can program a new robot within about 5 minutes, that would be get them much more easier for them to contribute and to create something. It's like the entertainment thing is the most entertainment thing is that when you finish something and it's get self-satisfied or the self-fulfillment is some feelings that can encourage the children to keep going, coding, creating and programming the robot. Maybe they will find the talent that maybe they are talented in programming. So, yeah.
So I guess the next question is kind of like a technology choice question. Like, where are you making really key choices in either using a platform technology from somebody else or creating something very unique on your own, or even bringing in things that I say, or layering in things that are, say, more futuristic, like AI, right? Like how much AI is going to come into this product in your roadmap at some point, right?
I think I would say that first you need to define what you want to reach in terms of vision and experience. And once you have this done and you can discuss with kids what they really want in terms of magical experiences, you try to find the most relevant technology that is an enabler, technology shouldn't be an endpoint. So we are trying to find, let's say, the technology that enables us to reach our goal. And if we're talking about tracking a point over 3D, in 3D, then we could have relied on infrared technology, optical technology. There are so many different kinds of technology that we could have used. But here, we've got something that brings immersion at its maximum. Because on top of having this kind of no-lag, very accurate interaction, we create a mirror effect between physical and digital in an active way. And then through the additional technologies that we're using, we are mirroring also its rendering, its design. So the very same object that you are holding behaves the very same way on screen. And thanks to this immersion, we are able to do whatever we want. So job done, we managed to do the vision that we had in mind.
So, exactly the same, like technology is an enabler for us. We look at experiences that we want to create, and we start working towards those experiences, and we look at all the technologies that are possible to create those. For us, we have been heavily focused on AR, and that too specifically mobile-based AR. So we squared on that early on, and then we used off-the-shelf technologies to create the experience that we wanted to create. But what we realized was, kids, at least in the last 4 or 5 years, have always got the passed down generation iPads and passed down generation phones, which are not the latest. And that means that you're working with the previous gen technology. So we had to work backwards and create our own layer that removes all the stuff that is needed for more advanced features or maybe different purpose, and create a very slim layer of technology, AR, mobile AR, that works specifically for the needs of ours. So we created that, and we've been powering experiences through that.
Yeah. Talking about the technology and other platform, I think ClickBot is already a platform for the developers and the kids. And talking about technology, and it's powered by artificial intelligence. We have some functions of that. We use the deep learning that the children can create something new randomly, their DIY robot, and upload the robot to our server. And within about 5 or 6 hours, we're going to use the AI to train this robot to run. So this is going to be online at June this year. So that is strong artificial intelligence functions. But and also the robot itself have some control algorithm, like the artificial intelligence, that some face detection, and also have the sound detection and emotion detection already being in this product. But I want to talk more about to balance from the technology and the design. And we cooperated with former Pixar designer to design all the character parts and to make the technology not that hard to understand or keep distance, but also robots that children can touch it, and and also feel a little bit more human. So we want to balance the technology and the design art.
I guess we're down to the last couple minutes here, but can you talk a bit about what kind of partners are really mattering to you in getting this in front of kids? Whether it's, I don't know, schools, parents, distributors, or whatever, influencers, et cetera. So.
Yeah, we really want people to understand what we can provide in terms of interaction, because if we say, like from one-liner, that we are learning a playful learning platform, then it does not ring any bell, right? If we say that we are providing a mirror play experience, it doesn't ring any bell, right? So we've got to really understand how we can use this unique and breathtaking interaction into something meaningful. So definitely what we want to do is, step one, work with kids. Influencer is a tricky topic that we can all discuss for hours, obviously, right? And step two for us will be working with schools, because what we are providing today is about soft skills development, but in year two, we are going to focus on learning about space, learning about underwater world. So we were seeing that with weather analysis. We could see that through meaningful activities. Here, that's exactly the same thing. So putting that and allowing teachers to have a very differentiated experience to teach some very core elements in an engaged and playful way, that's really our goal.
So for us, we've had a couple of years of journey, and we've traversed, what Jerome was kind of hinting to. We started off with retail. The messaging was really not clear. Anybody who kind of walks by cannot actually see a demo of an AR because the packaging really cannot tell you how immersive the product is. So how do you bring that out, and how do you not make it look like another globe was the biggest challenge, and took us like an year to figure it out. What kind of automated demos we can have, or what kind of messaging on the packaging that goes that can really attract a parent or a teacher kind of walking by to stop by and see and read. But online has been a really great channel for us. We have been able to communicate the value of both Orboot and Plugo really well across Amazon, our website, and bunch of other online channels. But we really scaled last year when we got involved with schools. So we are present in more than 1,000 schools in US. And the word of mouth that came from teachers using these products in schools to enable learning really got others to talk about us, and influencers themselves directly reaching out to us because they learned from their local school community that this has been used in the school is what really powered. So there is a tipping point once you've reached enough schools and enough influencers, and influencers in this sense are teachers who are using this in the classroom, that it just takes off, and everybody starts to get to know about it.
And just very quick, Jianbo, last word.
Yeah. And our product, we have another product that has been used by over 200 schools in China for the STEM education and also for the programming. And for our product is that, or our challenge is that because it's new thing, a brand new thing, and it's never appeared in the world again. So once, so we want to the audience to know about this product, how its product will be. And many audience has a question that can it really help me bring me a coffee, or can it do something to help me in my home? I think the answer may be yes, but not that useful. But it's just a platform that your kid can create coffee grabber machine for their dad. So this is much more about creativity and to get the children, fulfillment.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Real quick.